What's up, sisterhood? Welcome to another episode of What's That?
Just a chat.
That's right, and sisters, today we are chatting about something that I saw online, and I was like, I wonder what my sisters would think about this one. So here's the deal, right? So one, I'm trying to stay away from negative news, so I started looking for what's some good stories that happened over this last week that we could chat about, and I had all of these fun stories lined up. But I like this one a lot because I kind of want to know where y'all sit. So this man, 28 years ago, he and his friend decided that should one of them win the Powerball, they would split the Powerball winnings. Now that's pretty interesting, but one in 300 million people win the Powerball, so this wasn't really something that they necessarily expected to happen. 28 years later, one of these men hit a $22 million jackpot and is now beholden to a handshake that he set 3 decades ago. I was like, well, there you go. Friendship. Now, this man, he was all on board. He saw the numbers, he showed his wife, immediately calls his friend and was like, dude, what's up? We won. I want to know, sisters, would you honor a 30-year-old handshake with $22 million on the line? Shelly Shells.
I would if I was still close with that person. If I literally just told my friends, if I won the lottery, she good. Like she good. Like we ain't got to go back to the classroom. She can start her own school. And I will honor that because we are like super, super, super close. Like we'll be friends forever, for like a lifetime.
So if 27 years from now, y'all found out the 28th year you win the lotto winnings, is she still getting a piece of the pie?
That's what I said. I said we're still friends.
Okay, I just wanted
honestly,
to clarify.
if we fall out, I probably wouldn't know like how to reach her, or I probably wouldn't put myself out there to reach her, But like 27 years, 28 years, 50 years from now, we're gonna still be close. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. How about you, Sharice? Are you eyeing this 30-year-old handshake?
Which hand I shook it with? No, I'm just joking. So I think I'm with Shelly too. Like it depends on are we still close? I think that was what was particularly nice with this story, which I love this story by the way. Is that they were still playing together, not together, but they were still like every week buying lottery tickets together and checking in with each other. You know what I mean? So I think that was really that's what makes the difference for me. If I'm not talking to you, or we're not like on this like everyday basis, maybe I'll give you a little chunk of little something, but you probably ain't gonna get had. Because also like taxes, oh my God, like first of all, okay, so I gotta already get him basically had, then I gotta get you had. I mean, I might not be a great friend because I think it depends. I think it depends on how our relationship, where we are in our relationship.
I feel you. One of the things I loved about the story was that this was a really cute friendship, right? Like every week they're playing their tickets. They love each other. They have like a little yes. They have like a little road trip with their little families. Like they stay close all the time, and it's hard to imagine that if they shook hands and then became mortal enemies, or even fell off, or moved and weren't close anymore. Like it'd be interesting to see whether or not that handshake will still matter. I do wonder though, your thoughts. Would you expect someone to honor your handshake? Let's say it wasn't your ticket, but it was your friend who bought the ticket. Are you coming to them 28 years later when you see them on TV like, hey girl, where's my hat? Sharice?
Yep. We just said, girl, we had a deal. We should can.
I love it. How about you, Shelly Shells? What do you think?
Again, if we're close, yeah. I mean, where my hat, where my money at? But if we're not close, I probably wouldn't expect that. I'll be pissed at myself. Like, why we not friends no more? But
what happened all those years ago?
what happened? Why did we not? Yeah, but we're not close and they're not obligated. I mean, I don't think I wouldn't,
It's kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, because in America is so litigious. Like people will sue you for anything, and
they cannot sue for that. Come on.
But I mean, literally, one of my favorite shows, The Prophet. Do you guys watch The Prophet? It's Marcus Lemonis, and he does all his deals with the handshake. So he'll go into a business and he goes in there to invest money in the business and to help take it to that next level. And it's a handshake. And people have sued him when he'll be investing money and it doesn't work out, the deal becomes a wash and he'll walk away or whatever. People have sued him because we made a handshake deal. It's an oral contract. It's a this, that, and the other. So there are legal ramifications if you don't hold up your end of the bargain. Is there any chance that you would sue somebody if you saw them on the news and they had that $22 million jackpot and you knew half of that was meant to be yours?
I wouldn't. Like, how would they prove that we had a handshake unless it was taken on video or written down somewhere? Like, they wouldn't be able to prove it. So no, I wouldn't waste my time on a lawsuit because then that's more fees that got to come out of my pocket. Nah.
That's true. Like people in America be tripping sometimes. Like y'all gotta sue everybody over everything. Like
everything.
Come on. I don't think I would sue them. I probably just call, be like, listen, girl or guy, whoever you are, let me get some of that paper. Like I wouldn't sue. I don't think I would sue them because that's just doing too much. Like, go play your own lottery ticket. Go invest.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like that is kind of like a little bit like pushing it. But I had to ask the question because you guys live in that type of a country where it's totally a thing. Look, I could pull out my journal and say, on August 12th, 1996, you made a commitment to me and said you were going to split those lotto winnings. And here's where I documented that it happened and the date and the time. I mean, you just literally never know. But I do love that this is a feel-good story and that was not the case. Now, sisters, I want to change it up just a little bit here. So as Sharice answered a little while ago, half of it goes to taxes. And then that leaves him with like 11 million. Then he split it with his friend. So each of them went home with a $6 million lotto winning. Not too shabby. That was a split. I want to know, sisters, you win the lotto. Hey, congratulations. Who are you going to tell?
Who am I going to tell?
Yeah, who will you let know that you just hit it big? You got $6 million in the bank.
Cece, pull your mic up a little bit so that we can.
Yeah, because you're
stuck.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oopsie. So I was saying, who are you going to tell? You got that $6 million pot.
Well, I'm definitely going to tell you guys because, I mean, I'm going to have to give y'all some money. I'll break off a little change to y'all. But
well, you were giving half to your friend, so we hope we get a little change.
Well, and also just saying this is recorded. So I'm gonna take listen. We gonna go to the courts if anything, because I got documentation now.
Listen, I did not make any agreements with anybody. I'm just saying, I'm gonna help people out. I'm gonna give everybody a little change. I'm gonna give everybody change.
Virtual handshake.
Everybody though, right? Because this is like a big deal, right? People say they win the lotto, and then everybody comes out the woodworks with a hand out, more money, more problems. So who would you feel safe actually telling?
For me, I would tell you guys, and I will tell the friend that I split the money with. And then everybody got to sign paperwork saying you ain't telling nobody or you forfeit your money and you got to pay it back. Otherwise, nobody needs to know nothing.
I actually love that.
I already
didn't
have
think
it all
about it
planned up in my head. I have it all planned up. I've been planning this for a long time. A long time. And then of course,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Of course, I go to church, so I would give my 10% to the church. You know, my offering to the church. But then you guys will get a piece. My friend will get her part, and then I might give it like a few to some other friends that are like really, really close. But like, yeah, nobody really needs to know.
So the friends that you give the money to, the other friends you might give a little. Are you telling them where the money came from, or are you just being generous? Uh-oh, looks like she froze.
Yeah, I think she froze. But
okay, your turn.
So I think Shells is really right. And that you have to have a plan. Like the fact that she's been planning out for so long, that's great. Because if you don't plan it, because if you don't plan it, then you get it and you're like, oh my God, what do I do with all of this? Like you don't know. And so you probably would tell everybody because you're so hype and you're like, then everybody, like you said, will come out of the woodwork. For me, I would probably tell the same people that I told when I got accepted to grad school. And I think the way that I told y'all, which was my sisters basically, and I think the way that I told y'all was I called you guys all at the same time, right? I called you guys like on 3-4-way, whatever it's called. And I would probably do that. I would do it just like that. And then obviously I would probably tell my boo. And that's it. Like everybody else doesn't need to know. And I like Shelly's idea of the NDA because like, and then and having it like, okay, here's your NDA. You are required to not say anything to anyone else until I have come out publicly and said it. And you will reap consequences if you do, meaning that you'll have to pay me back all of the money that I give you. Because otherwise, like, what would keep them from saying something?
Yeah, totally. I love that. I love the NDA thing. I do have a question for you because you're in an interesting situation, right? I'm married, so legally half would have to go to my husband. But you were mentioning a boo that you were not married to that you would tell, obviously. Is it a 50-50 split? Do you just break them off a little bread? What does this conversation look like?
I'm telling him. I'm just playing. I don't know. And I'm just saying though, but I don't know exactly like what it would look like how, what would happen. Obviously, like, I would want to help if I could in different ways or whatever. But I'm not gonna make the same mistake twice. Yeah, but in the past, I made the mistake when we got this large lump sum of money. And I made the mistake of helping somebody, not even helping them, literally buying them basically a car. And y'all ain't know that, but girl,
word.
I'm not gonna do that again. So
no, girl.
So like it would either have to be like, okay, you got to put a ring on it, and then you probably still got to sign a prenup because
it's yours. It's literally yours. It's a completely different situation than my situation where we're married and we would go halvesies because literally, legally, it happened within the confines of our marriage, and legally it would be half his. But in your situation, I mean, it's kind of a good place to be with a lotto winning, is that you really get to choose. And should you get married, you put it in a trust, you do whatever you want to do, you sign the prenup, and that's your money. That's baller.
And the thing is, like, I wouldn't have any problem with sharing the wealth, but I would have to share the wealth, right? Like, I wouldn't want to just like, okay, I get $2 million or $6 million or however many millions these people got, $6 million, and then now I'm gonna give you half. Like, that doesn't make sense. What I would do is I would put it someplace where it can grow, and then I'll give you $3 million. You feel what I'm saying? So like, you'll still get
totally,
one, but you're not going to get half of all I have. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense, right? Because that's a really good point. Like, we went from 6 to 3 right now with this split. I can spend $3 million in a month. That really isn't a lot of money. Like, millions used to sound like a lot, like hitting that $1 million. I mean, you could spend $1 million in a week this day and age. It literally is not that much. And when we're talking about this amount of money, that's a really good point, right? Because the more people you're splitting this thing with, the smaller that number gets and the faster you're broke.
Seriously. Seriously. Okay. So you got to be careful when you get into these type of things, because it's like, you know, you want to make sure that you're not giving away all of your wealth to where, because I think a lot of people do that, right? Especially when they win the lottery or come into some kind of money, maybe someone has like, they've inherited it or whatever. They feel like, oh my God, I'm rich. So now I can go give. And listen, I think giving is great. I would give to a charity organization, like some organization that was aimed towards like drama therapy, or, you know, like healing, you know, kids who experience traumatic events in their lives and things like that. You know, that's always been a thing on my heart. So like, I would definitely give, but I cannot give from an empty well. And even though it looks like my well is full, I need to make sure that there's going to still continue to be flow. Like, if there's no flow there, then it doesn't make sense to try to give. And then eventually I won't have any other place to give. I want to be able to give continuously rather than like a one and done. You know what I mean?
100% right. Like, the investment strategy has to be all the way together so that your money sustains your lifestyle and you still have some. That's like the most important thing with this. Okay, I love it. I love it. Looks like we lost Shelly Shells. We'll see if she comes back. But if not, we're gonna keep going in this conversation. Now, one of the things that I thought was really cute about this. Go ahead.
I need to know what you would do, sis. Who would you tell? Because you gonna tell me, huh? Oh, yeah.
Yes, of course. Look, I'm not telling the world at all. I'm one of those people who would you know, have a lawyer go and accept the money. Like, I'm not going to be taking any photo ops with any gigantic checks. Like, don't come looking for me, boo. You will not know, because I am not interested in the public spectacle. But obviously, the people closest to me, my husband, obviously, as well as my sisters. That's probably the limit, though. I don't see myself really inviting anybody else into that information. I just think that would be silly of me to start getting that out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like you, like, I want to be generous with my money. I'm generous with my money now. I think it's important that if you have this idea that you're going to give in the future, that you're doing what you can now, right? Because that's more realistic. So I absolutely would be giving, and I would have this investment strategy, and I would do all of those things, but I'm not going, and I'm definitely not publicizing it to the world, like, at all.
The world don't need to know all your business. I'm gonna be Beyonce on this one.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, I get crap from people as it is now because I don't live a traditional lifestyle. And so people are always, you know, all up trying to be all up in my business and know what's going on.
Let me tell you, when you live out of the country, not even out of the country, even when I moved to New York, like, people think just because you leave and you move somewhere, that means you so rich. People was acting like I won the lottery when I moved here. I was like literally 20 or something. Like, I was like, okay. And I moved with like 2 suitcases and like not even a job and not even a house. Okay. Like, I was not rich, but people just automatically assume because you're choosing a different lifestyle that means like you must be rich. But yeah, anyways, I just had to say that because you brought that up.
Totally. I mean, it's like none of your business, right? Like, it's none of your business. My financial status, you know, If you want to buy something for me, sure. If you're looking to be coached, hit me up. All of those things are cool. But my actual bank account, my actual investment strategy, my actual everything else is really nobody's business. And that's the same way I would treat the lottery. Like, sorry, not your business, homie.
Like that.
Okay. So moving along, I see you caught me. That's right. I got you, Sharice. I got you. So one of the cute parts of this story is that, as I said, this friendship, these friends, they decided that they were going to do this lotto strategy 20 some odd years ago, and they're now at retirement age. And so Tom in the story immediately handed in his resignation. He was like, deuces, I'm retiring, homie. And so my question for you, sis, is we are not in that stage of our life. I mean, I retired at 30 years old, and then here I am in business now, right? So things kind of switched up. But let's say you get this lotto winnings, money's no issue, you're good to go. What would you be doing for a living if you didn't have to worry about money at all? Sharice?
Well, I kind of be doing what I'm doing. I am really, 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 really blessed and lucky and like literally so grateful that I get to do what I love, which is act and direct and be on stage and be in front of cameras and doing all of that kind of good stuff, as well as selling. I have a business where I sell jewelry and things like that. So like being able to do that and doing it on my, as an entrepreneur and all that stuff, like I don't think I would change that. And I don't think that I would retire from that. I think if anything, it would make me scale my business more. Like I would be like, all right, guys, I'm ready. Let's go do a Tyler Perry and open up a big studio. Like that's what I would do. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't retire. I'd probably go even harder for me.
Love it. How about you, Shelly Shells? What's on your agenda? We know you've been planning your escape. You said that earlier. What's the plan?
I am planning my escape. I would definitely resign, especially with everything that's going on right now with COVID-19 and reopening of schools and having a compromised immune system. Like if I can retire now, I would. But I would definitely retire. But I would like to have like a nonprofit helping teenage mothers or single moms, homeless people, just have a place to live. Like I have a dream of buying an apartment building and renovating it and putting like homeless people in there, having like teen moms, single moms, and also having like resources on site for them. So like job resources, a therapist, a clinic on site for them. So I would definitely open that up. And then I would enjoy my life, travel everywhere.
I love it. I feel like you're channeling our mom. It's our mom's birthday. She passed away several years ago. And that was like totally her jam, right? Like she just totally wanted to put together the shelter for the teen moms and all that. So I love that. I am kind of in Sharice, right? Like, let's just give Rochelle some love for that one. That was too good. I am probably in a position now, right? I said I retired at 30, right? And like retirement gets really boring really fast. Like you really are supposed to be doing something that makes you feel like you're growing and you're contributing in some sort of way. So I don't think that my life would change that much. I'd still take on coaching clients, but I would only take on maybe 3 or 4 a year. I'd keep that real small, and I would be able to just serve them and serve them well and like George, right? And I would also hire a great team to come in and do all of the things, right? So I can just show up and do the parts that I love. I can just show up on camera and do my videos. I can just show up for my calls and my coaching and my podcast. And I can just be doing the parts that I'm so good at and hire a team of people who love the other parts and pay them well to do that. Like that would be, I mean, that's the dream anyway. So that would be totally where I take it. And then like Shelly Shells, I would completely move in to my charitable things as well. Like that's something that's really close to my heart. My vision is all about helping people realize the power of plants, right? And community gardens and programs that help feed families with plant-based meals. Like that's my jam. I would love to take, plant-based worldwide and contribute in that way. So I would love to see my charitable giving going that way as well. But I mean, I gave up the 9 to 5 thing a while ago, but I would definitely be able to amplify the things that I'm doing and only focus on the parts that I really, really love, and then continue to travel and see the world and enjoy myself for sure. So, sisters, okay, that is almost all my questions. My last question for you, sister. Are you sharing your wealth with your sisters, and at what amount?
Well, I already answered that question. I said yes, I was giving y'all part.
Yeah, but you said like crumbs. We just want to know exactly about how much we're talking about.
I did not say crumbs. It would be enough for you to live off of for a long time.
Okay, heard.
I mean, why would I give y'all crumbs? That don't make no sense.
Well, because you gave half of it away to your friends. So then, you got 3 sisters.
Oh, are we talking about that amount? Because I'm thinking larger amounts of money winning the lottery. I ain't talking about no 11. Well, how much was it? 22 million?
It was a $22 million.
I'm talking about like 100 million, like the huge Powerball.
Okay. Well, Shelly got big dreams. She said she will not be falling for your $22 million settlement. She's gonna need a whole lot more.
All right, girl, manifest that. Let's get that.
I was just about to say, I'm manifesting that. Hello.
Love it so much. How about you, Sharice? What are your sisters getting?
Well, okay, so no, listen. So ever since I was young, right, and y'all found out that I liked acting and that I'm a performer, everybody have always told me, including my sisters, mostly my sisters, in fact, that they need me to hurry up, get famous or rich or something, and then make sure that they good, that they can live, they got their house, their car, their kids and their dog. Not playing, not the kids and the dog. But, like y'all always told me this. So, it's already in me to say like, all right, well, I'm gonna make sure that you got your house. If you want a car, I don't know how much, because I guess that depends on how much I get. But yeah, like Shelly said, y'all will be definitely good. Y'all definitely could travel. Y'all might get like a little private jet or something, just something a little small or whatever.
Let's manifest that, boo.
And if you have to travel by water, you could get a yacht. I already plan on getting a yacht.
Hey. I already told you I want a spot in one of your shows. Just give me a spot in your show.
I got you, girl.
I mean,
in my production studio, got a spot for you, girl. And you too.
All right now.
I love it. Well, you know how I do.
I know, girl.
Well, we want you to sound off in the comments. Will you honor this handshake? What are you going to do with this money, and who are you going to tell? Let us know down in the comments. Sharice is asking, what about you, Cece? And I was totally avoiding that as I was closing out. So here's what I'll say, sisters. I love you guys, and I want you to be financially secure 100%. So I would definitely set up trust for each of you so that you cannot accidentally blow through the money. I will have someone sit with you guys to talk about all of the requirements that are involved in that and how much you will be able to get from that and what the investment strategy looks like behind that, so that it actually it continues to go in perpetuity, so you have money over a lifetime. So that is what I will say for that. Shelly is giving me a look.
I'm not giving a look, I'm just listening.
Amazing. Yeah. And she taking notes, okay, because this is a virtual handshake. I just want all of y'all to know this. Okay. And
I just think it's so important, like Sharice was saying earlier, that the money, you do everything that you can to make sure that the money lasts, right? To make sure that you're living off of the interest or the dividends or whatever, and you're not just blowing through the money, because so many people, not just lottery winners, but athletes and actors, people who go, they earn a ton of money, and they blow through it because they just have no financial, they don't have the financial knowledge to allow that to really fuel their life without it all going away really quickly. So that's definitely something that I would do. Like I told y'all, I'm not going public. Me and my lawyers and my accounting and my tax strategists, we all going to sit together and we're going to come up with the plan. We're going to set up the investments in such a way that everybody is good and that, you know, it works itself out for a lifetime.
yeah, and I love that, Cece, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, because even though I jest and I joke in this conversation, it is really important for us to be financially like knowledgeable. They say like I think it's 65 or 70% of Americans, adult Americans, are financially illiterate, and that is just, you know, so like when you get this big lump sum of money, it might be really hard for you to like know what to do with it and know what's next. So it's really important that you bring that up. And also, I would say this too, like, even if you haven't won the lottery yet, or if you, you know, whatever, like if you're growing, looking to grow your wealth and to create generational wealth, because to me, that's the most important thing that we can do for the world. You know, like I would say definitely look into taking some courses where you can really learn. There's so much information on YouTube and stuff too that's like free. But like learn how to invest your money, where to invest it, you know, how to save. There's so many different groups and organizations that you can become a part of so that you can really like get in control and get in front of your finances. Because like at the end of the day, like money doesn't buy you happiness, but it is an amazing tool when it's used well. And like, you know, it doesn't help. Like if you have a toolbox and you need to put a nail inside of a wall, it doesn't help if you have like, you know, a hammer but you don't know how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you got the money, you got the tool, but you don't know how to use it, then it's not really that helpful. So I would say take it upon yourself, Google or look inside of YouTube, search, I have so many links too that I could probably send to you guys. Like I'll put in the caption or whatever, so that y'all can know. Cause like, listen, we got to get this money. Okay, honey?
I totally agree. I love it. Right. I said at the top of this video, 1 in 300 million people are going to win the lotto. So the chances that you who are listening, it's going to be you, the chances are slim. But that does not mean that you cannot be financially abundant, right? Like, so you want to make sure that you are financial. Shelly Shells is going to win it, right? But for the rest of the globe who's not going to be as lucky, right? You can still choose to learn about your finances now and pick investment strategies. And I have to tell you, I did a Facebook Live, gosh, maybe a month ago, and I was talking about some things around this topic and the importance of being financially literate and things that your financial advisor does not want you to know, right? You have to take charge of your finances, because let me tell you, if you've got a 401k or you've got some sort of IRA or you've got some sort of investment strategy and you have no idea what's going on in the background, I can almost assure you that you are probably overpaying in fees, and that will cost you over time. So you want to make sure that you are doing the do and you are learning the skills necessary to be financially literate and to allow your money to grow. Because just like these 28 years past, if these fellas didn't have money, but they had a good investment strategy, they could still be millionaires, and so could you. So make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do today to ensure your financial wealth and abundance. That's what I'm going to say.
Absolutely. And I have a challenge for everybody. So here's the challenge. You're not gonna get anything from me, but you're gonna get something for yourself from yourself, okay, by doing this challenge. All right. So you're gonna go on Google and you're gonna type in fiduciary. Just type in fiduciary. And That's your challenge. And then
See what you find out.
What'd you say?
I said, see what you find out when you Google that word.
Exactly. Google that word, because that's what we all need, especially when we're dealing with people who are working with our finances and we're dealing in this area. So look up fiduciary, find out what it is, and employ one.
There you go. I love it. I think we should end it on that note right there. Do yourself a favor, take on the challenge. What the heck is a fiduciary and why is that important to my financial health? Find out now. We love you. Join the sisterhood. Make sure that you get out there, hit that subscribe button, like this video. And if you've got a friend or a family member who you know could benefit from just some piece of this conversation, make sure you share it on over there. Now, we love you. We look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Until next time, ciao.